name's Sean Fishlock from DataLink Internet Systems, and today I'm going to show you some of the online form capabilities of Freestyler 5.2 CMS. Before I start, it's worth noting that different versions of Freestyler offer the same functionality with only slight variations in the steps involved. For this demonstration, I'm going to use the Pharmaceutical Defence Limited website, which you can see in the Freestyler preview on the right. In the Contact Us section of this website is an example of an already completed online inquiry form that takes minutes to publish. If I click Submit, you can see that the form has all of the automatic server-side validation to ensure that users fill in the form properly. Freestyler's online forms save a great deal of time for web designers and empower non-technical content editors with the ability to create all kinds of electronic forms. To begin with, I'm going to create a simple contact form in the About Us section of the website. Clicking on About Us, I have to be in edit mode to create a new form. I click on the Edit tab and click New to add a new form, selecting Form from the template list. I'm going to call my form Contact. Put it at the top of the list and click Add. One of the best things about Freestyler forms is that you don't really have to worry about what your form's going to look like. Freestyler takes care of the presentation and usability based on your desired functionality. All you have to do is fill in these field settings. The first field is the address of your form. This lets people find your form on the web. For example, the address based on this website would be www.pdl.org.au/about/contact. Freestyler automatically creates this based on the title that you entered. Whatever I write in this body text field appears on the form. You can use it to introduce the form, who it is for, why they should fill it out. I'm just going to use the message, "Send us an online inquiry." Note that in this field there are also a wide range of additional options at your disposal, from text formatting through to images and tables. In the Display on Submit field, I can put a message that will appear after users successfully submit the form. You can thank the user for their inquiry and give them follow-up instructions, for example. I'm just going to say, "Thank you for your inquiry. One of our consultants will contact you soon." You can also customize the text of the Submit button. If you don't fill this in, it simply defaults to Submit. Some advanced options appear below. I'll get back to these later. The next step is to add the fields to our form. The most basic contact form asks for a user's name, email address, and has a large text area where they can enter their inquiry. To build this form, I'm going to start with the name field, which requires a text response. So I'm going to click New, select the template for text field from the list, and title the field Name as the prompt for the user to fill in their name. Then click Add. Note that there are other settings that I can use, but let's just keep things simple. The next field I'll add is also a text field asking for the user's email address. I'm going to give it the title Email. So I click New. Note that the template selection doesn't come up at this stage. I have to step one level up in the tree. Clicking on that link will take me up. Click on Text field, and then give it a name of Email, and click Add. It will automatically position it last on the form. Our final field will be the inquiry field, so I'll title this one Inquiry. To see what our basic form looks like, I'll click on Preview. Note that the inquiry field should probably be larger to allow for more text input. Note also that my basic form will submit even without filling in all the fields. Most forms, however, will require you to at least enter an inquiry and an email address. Nevertheless, this is the most basic of all forms, and applying a few additional settings, such as validation rules, should complete our form. First, I'm going to go in and set a validation rule for the email address. Clicking on Edit, I go to the Required option and select Required Email Address. If you're unsure about any of these settings, you can always mouse over the little question marks and they'll give you additional information. Next, I'm going to change the size of the inquiry field. To do that, I enter a different number of lines than the default, which is 1, in this field called Number of Lines. I'm going to give the user space for 3 lines worth of text. I'm also going to set validation on this field. In the Required field, I'm going to select Required Anything. This will make sure that the user has to enter an inquiry into the inquiry field. Let's have a look at the form. This time you'll notice that a red star indicates the required fields. I can type in a text response. Now if I submit this form, it will prompt me to tell me which fields that I should have filled in. If I complete the form, it should submit. There's our success message and our thank you message. To view the user submissions, you can click on the Manage tab. The Manage tab will show a list of all user submissions, including the date, time, the IP address or login username of the user who submitted the form. By clicking the magnifying glass, you can get more detail, including all of the fields of their submission, and you can print the submission. You can also download an Excel table of all of the submissions that you can import into an external database or customer relationship management system. There are also many advanced features of Freestyler forms, which I'll cover in further videos.